Hello all. I have this box here. It's a nice simple box. No handles, nothing to hold on to or grab. And I have to transport it. Normally, I would put it in a bag, but I don't seem to have one. So I'm gonna have to come up with something else. Now I could carry it around as is, but it's a little cumbersome. It takes up my hands where I could be using them for something else. I'd much rather be able to hang it off of something. I don't have much around here, but I do have this piece of rope. Now this rope has an eye on one end and is just straight on the other. I have a little stopper knot there. And looks like it's going to be just about long enough to cover this box. First thing I'm going to do is take my end and thread it through my eye. And now I have a running loop that I can throw around the box. So now I can lock off tension with one hand, throw the other line around, and under itself, like a half hitch. Equalize the tension on those, and I have 2 rings around my box. When I flip it over, I can start working on my crossing knots. There are many of them, but my favorite is take our working line over the crossing line, tuck our bitter end under the crossing line, and then back over our working line. It's easy to tension and doesn't jam, and after you've tensioned it, you can lock it in place. We'll move on to the next one and do it again. We'll go over the crossing line, and then take our bitter end under the crossing line and over our working end. Pull it back the opposite way to create some tension, and then pull it back over to lock in that tension into our crossing knot. At this point, I can flip it over and finish off my lashing. This one's just going to go under the left side, over the middle, and then under the right side. We'll tension her down a little bit and lock off that tension. At this point, I can close it off with whichever knot I choose. If I'm looking for a quick release, I can just tuck a bite under and then adjust it so that you can see what I'm doing here. So I've tucked my bite under, and then I'm just going to tuck it under its own working end to make a quick slipped half hitch. I'm going to dress it up just a little bit, make it look a little nicer. There. And when I'm done, I can just pull the end and it'll come loose. If I want to do a more secure knot, I can go through, do 1 half hitch, and then do another for 2 half hitches. At this point, it's done. I can carry it by any of the lines that are around it. I can tie it off to something else, I can lash it to something else, or I can just carry it like a handle. And off I go. And when I get to where I want to be, or just to a spot where I want to open it, getting into it is as simple as undoing a couple of half hitches, and running the line back through. If this was the sort of the box that had a lid here, it would be easy enough to open up without even taking the lashing off. Run the line back over to close it back up again. 'Cause it's not, I can just slide my entire lashing off the box, and because of the knots we used, it is, even though it looks like a mess at first, it is very simple to just straighten out. Less than a second, I have a straight piece of string and an uncovered box, ready to go. Now, if the thing I'm lashing isn't this perfectly symmetrical, smooth box and had, say, arms sticking out of it where I can't just slide it off, it is just as easy to untie the entire thing. We'll start off with our 2 half hitches and flip it over. And because these are the crossing knots we used, it's as simple as flipping the tail over and the whole knot comes apart. And excuse me, Felicia, I'm in the middle of a video. Sorry, everyone. Excuse me. Come on, get down. Alright. Even after stopping to take a cat off of the table, it still slides apart, no problem. And the whole thing can be undone as quickly and easily as it was done. And there you go. Now you can lash a box, book, bag, or any other object you desire.